Welcome, viewers. This is A Vision Media Broadcast. Once again, you're here with another live show. You know, you can catch us on Comcast Xfinity, channel 966 HD, and also YouTube, Facebook, social, all over social media, Instagram. Just put in A Vision Entertainment Media Broadcast. We're here now with a legend right now. This man is David Tolliver. He's from the legendary group, or I say band, Men at Large. Peace, brother. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm blessed to be here. Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
And you're welcome. I'm glad you gave me this opportunity to sit and talk with you. I know how busy your schedule are, and I'm glad you came and sat down with me, man.
One of the crazy thing when media guys say that, because I'm in media too.
Yeah.
You know, it's also an opportunity for us artists too, no matter what level or platform it is, because you never know who's on here, man, that could get you some type of network, money or whatever it is on these things. Like I never looked at, so thank you for your platform, bro.
Oh man, well,
word up. The bull,
thank
son.
you for coming on, brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. And being a big inspiration in the music industry, you know, straight up. And I just want to name the members, man, for now. We have Jason Champion, yourself, and Edgar Porter. May he rest in peace.
Yeah,
right? Edgar Porter.
Yeah.
So those are the members. That's right. The members of Men at Large, the legendary group. Could you just bring me up to date, man? Like how's everything been going with you?
Man, everything, I can't even complain, man. And I just keep it to myself because, people don't really care. But, so far, man, me and my original guy, Jason, getting back together, it has its great parts and it has its slow parts too. But for the most part, it's just a blessing, man, and an honor to be able to still be doing it. This is our 31st year. So, for us to separate, I'm very adamant about not letting people tell me no. So, when things don't go one way, I go another way and go backdoor and not backdoor, connivingly, but just backdoor just to keep it going, man. I'm gonna give myself my own flowers of this. I have kept this thing going a long time and longer than people would have said that it should have gone on. And man, I got the hustler spirit, man. I got the heart of a hustler, man. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I should have been a drug dealer, but I was scared.
but you doing that another way. You doing it in a whole another way, man.
Legal dope with that music. That's crack right there. Crack,
there you go. Crack. There you go. And what was your first experience with dealing with music?
Man, what's crazy? I have a musical family. My grandfather, he took a choir to sing for President Roosevelt back in the day. It was the first black choir to ever go to the White House. My uncle / dad, who I just lost last year, he was a songwriter and one of the top programmers in the nation. He wrote, they used this song. He had a song called "I Need a Freak" by a group in this group called Sexual Harassment that the Black Eyed Peas sampled for my humps. He got a Billboard award for that. He was one of the top programmers in the nation for about 20 years, man. Whatever, all these Funk Flexes and Greg Streets, like he was that before them dudes got their spot. At his funeral, I found out that record companies and radio stations used to fly in just to see what he was doing, because you couldn't pick it up back then. See what he was doing and emulate what he was doing other the markets. And if you wanted a #1 record in the mid to late 80s to 90s, you had to go through Cleveland. You had to go through him because that was the railroad. So I started seeing music at like 4 years old, singing in church, but hanging out at the radio station with him. And when I was 15, he gave me a job at the radio station, the station called 93 FM WZAK in Cleveland, man. And from there, it's history.
Okay, yeah. So that's the radio. Are you still doing anything on the radio stations now?
Oh man, I have a show that's on about 35 stations right now called Party and Bullish. It's really,
I saw that.
And I just say Bullish is only making. I don't even know why I picked that name, but everybody love a party and BS ain't always bad. So I got two DJs, the old
Yeah.
classic, I don't like to say, but classic hip hop and R&B. And we slide in some new stuff every now and then. I got two DJs mixing, and I'm open to guest DJs too. And then I'm on there clowning, reading, talking about what's going on, singing, rapping. I got a couple bars here and there. I do a little something. You know what I mean? I do a little something.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you be spitting every now and then, freestyling and stuff.
Yeah, I do, man. My first major radio thing was a show called Rapper's Delight. My uncle had hired a guy named MC Chill. MC Chill had a record on was it 10 Apple, whatever it was, Fever Records. Same label as the Fat Boys at first, and he had Melly Mel on there. Yeah. MC Chill is one of the first artists, if not the first artist, to ever get his played on a rap record played on radio in New York, man. And he was the host of it with me, and he introduced me to hip hop, and I fell in love with it at an early age, man. I'm a fanatic. Where EST and them at 3 times dope, baby.
That's right. Philly.
On,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I take it back. I go back to the golden eras. I'm talking about the late 70s to the 90s, man. That's what's it at. So how did you come up? How did you meet Jason and Edgar, man? Or Porter?
So maybe good Porter. Edgar Porter, you called him Gemini. So Jason and I were friends before we were even born. My mom and his mom were best friends before my mom passed away. They were friends for 30 years before my mom passed away. And it just history repeated itself. Like Edgar, Gemini came along after, like, we were filming this video for the song Let's Talk About It. And we was on the set in LA. You know what you do out in LA. It's 20 girls, me, him, and the road manager, Hype Williams, one of his first videos. We out there chiefing, and next thing you know, this dude just breaks out into a full-fledged sermon. Wow. I mean, like, really, like, preaching, like, and the smoke cleared, lights went up, girls covering up themselves and stuff like that. I mean, this really happened, dog. Like, if we ever do, I'm gonna say when, not if we ever do a movie or a doc.
Yeah, it'll show that.
Yeah, man, have to show that,
Wow.
And that's when Edgar came in, like, about 96, but he stayed with me for like about 24 and a half years. So that's how Edgar came. But Jason and I were, my mom and his mom grew up together, so that's how we was friends before.
So that's family. Basically, it's like family with you and Jason.
That's my little brother, man.
That's that, man. Yeah, when I one thing about Men at Large, the band, I used to love So Alone. Everybody knows So Alone is one of the biggest classics, that I used to love. And the group name, Men at Large. This brief. I know when I was listening to you guys was, a little big, what was that the name the record label picked? If you guys said, let's just go ahead and pick this name. Like, how did that happen?
No, that's crazy. Jason and I had a record in like 86, and we were called BBT, Big But Talented. Then when we got with Gerald and them, we changed it to Boys from the Hood. And I was like, man, I ain't trying. I'm a lifer. I'm trying to be like Eddie Levert, sitting in the chair, can't do nothing at 80 years old. The Whispers dude. I was like, we got to change it. And I heard something on an ABC record, and he said something about Men at Large, something. And I don't know what record it was, but I was like, yo, that's the name, Men at Large. And it stuck because a man at large you could take it as somebody's physical stature, but a man at large is a man about town, a man that's about something, a man that has clout. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man. We men at large. Diggs. That's where it came from. Yeah.
Okay. And
you look like Large Professor.
Yeah, like 90 Extra P, Large Professor, Large.
Yeah,
Pro,
you like Extra
Large
P.
Pro.
Yeah.
That's what's it at, man. Did y'all ever have any? Because back then, a lot of performers. I know y'all was hitting stages like crazy, going on tour. Was there any, and still hitting them? You still at it? Were there any complications as far as like health issues while out there on tour, or
I like that. No, man. We were fat, and I think because we were so energetic, so athletic at our size, and so ambulatory whatever the word is, active. We moved around a lot, man, and nobody really paid attention to it. I don't think the health situations came until we got older. Myself and Jason, we both. I'm 53, he's 50 now, so we going through a couple of different health things. But for me, over the course of the year since like 04, I've lost man, like I got up
I
to
hope,
about
yeah.
500 some pounds. So now I'm down to I'm almost back in the twos.
Well, that's good, man. That's good.
Unfortunately, he's still, fighting some demons with the obesity
Struggling,
stuff, man.
yeah.
He's up there, but he working on it. And it's hard. And a lot of people don't know, but obesity, man, it's not just physical, but it's a mental hindrance, and
Yeah,
it's mental. It's a mental sickness because you 400 or 500 pounds and you walking bone on bone like I was and like he is now at his weight.
yeah.
It's like your mind says, man, that's gonna hurt, man. If you just walk those 3 feet to the thing,
That's
you
right.
better
That's
call
right.
somebody to get you in there or take
Right.
whatever you got to reach her and get it. So it's rough, man, and it's hard and it hurts, man. That's one that because the obesity, like back in the day, they used to blame everything for being fat, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't cough so
yeah.
much if you was fat. You wouldn't have, but now everybody getting sick. Like you got cats muscular dying from heart
It's the
disease and all
food,
kinds
man.
of.
It's the
All right, yeah,
food
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
that
know
they
that, yeah.
they put their hands on, man. It's just a wickedness out here. You know what I mean?
They
It
the
is
want you locked up in the box, especially if
on the
you us,
box.
man. But it's the place is overcrowded. They had to get us out of here, so they doing it. However, like I got a bunch of talk I can talk about besides music, like with the vaccine and stuff. I
Me
just
too. Me
yeah,
too.
yeah. Feel me?
One thing I can say is that God said, the more they kill us, the more we multiply. So
Mm-hmm,
basically, the more they try, like they did back in the scriptures, the more they try to kill us, which they want to keep going,
mm-hmm.
and it's not going to get better. People thinking it's going to
No,
get better. No, they're going to keep doing wickedness. But that's a whole nother interview that we can go into.
mm-hmm.
But that's one
Yeah,
of the
for
things
sure.
I know. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
People are evil, man. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, straight up, man. And let's go back to the 90s, man.
I love the '90s.
One thing I know about the 90s era, it was booming, booming. You
Man,
had
cats
groups,
was getting money.
listen, you had back in the 90s, Mary J, you had Jade, Teddy Riley, Luther, Tracy Spencer, PM Dawn, Boys and Men, and Vogue. Why do you think all these groups, and then you had Men at Large yourself, the Rude Boys? Why do you think these groups just faded out like that? Like what do you think was going on back then where everybody either split up or was just over with? Although it was great talent.
I think. I think it's all part of a process.
Okay.
We all made good, even though I think the '90s were kind of like the sexual revolution. It was all still wholesome talent. Everybody could
Okay.
sing. Everybody was on point. Everybody was
Yeah. Yeah.
they were polished, and I don't think that that's what they want now, especially not from us.
Okay.
Because if you listening to the young and up and coming artists, there are still some guys that are still making good music and stuff like that. But
But
most of the
only a
younger black,
handful. It's just a select
yeah,
few.
and you can't find them. You can't hear them unless
That's
you on the
exactly.
Spotify or playlist, and they
That's
say,
right.
well, if you like this, you'll like this. You're like, oh, I ain't heard of this. And and I
Yeah.
just think it's I've been seeing a lot of different posts where they say how they, try to tear apart the black race, how they did this, how they, closed the factories, just
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, how they,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
tear us
Yeah.
down. But I think this is just another thing, R&B now is the hip hop and everybody is girl on girl. I'm high, I'm on Molly, I'm on perk,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
on
right. That's right.
I'm on that I'm on that lean, I'm on
That's right.
and people just don't know as when it becomes repetitive, it becomes habitual. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because it's like learning your Easter speech on Easter. It's like the only way when you learn it and it becomes habitual is when you go and you do it over and over and over. So when you
Over.
start hearing it over and
Yeah.
over again, you and then you seeing cats is living and having a good time. Like you don't get to see the fallout from it until they're dead. All you
Until they
just see is
did.
them
Yeah.
successful, living
Yeah.
life, throwing money, drinking lean, smoking weed, sniffing
Right.
coke,
That's right. That's right.
messing with all these chicks. That's all you see. So people think this is the way that it goes, but it takes but I mean, even though now, like I tell people, technology is the thriller and the killer, man. It's the thriller and the killer because the thriller, you could press a button and literally become a millionaire overnight. But then
Right.
on the
That's
killer
right.
side, it's taking the passion out of everything. Nobody's trying anymore. They're just looking for that viral moment. They're not
Right.
they're not putting any time and effort into what they're saying or what they're doing, how they coming out looking on stage. Like still fit. Like even though I lost weight, I still fight with. I be like, babe, what should I wear when I go and do this show, or what should I have on? Like I talk to my daughter, like what should I put on? What shoes? Is this cool? Should I do
Yeah,
this? Should
it's
I do
cool.
that?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I still want to look good, even though I've got down tremendous. I still want to make sure that I'm fly when I go out
that's
there.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You see how my
Right.
friends when I came, I said, let me just keep it plain, but to me, it meant something because, and I think it's because we had Gerald and Eddie, man, and I don't think you could ask for two better, role models or trainers or teachers.
That's
I
right. That's
remember,
right.
man, we literally used to rehearse like over 8 hours a day at the studio that Gerald and them had in
Wow.
Cleveland,
Wow.
and Eddie and them
Wow.
would come down there and they would be like, man, that's bullshit. You got to do it like this. You got to do it like that.
Yeah.
You grab her by the head and you take her like this. And then we would
Wow.
dance a whole bunch in the beginning. And Eddie was like, nah, you guys are too effing fat. Don't do that shit. Just sing. Just do a
Yeah.
couple of moves on the beat. They need to
Yeah.
hear your voices, man.
That's
Man,
right.
you're too
That's right.
fat.
That's
I'm
right.
saying, they give it to
Yeah.
you all.
That's right. That's
Now
right. They push you.
no,
Push you.
yeah, man. Now everybody get playing time. You dig what I'm saying? Like everybody don't
Yeah.
deserve playing time. Cats should still have to try out. Cats should still be able to rhyme. Cats should still have to sing on key without the computers.
Yeah.
Cats should still have to try out for football and baseball teams. I don't give a damn. Like you shouldn't be able to play if you can't play.
You can't
What is
play.
that teaching you?
That's
What is
right.
that teaching you? What is that?
That's
It's not teaching you anything. So I mean, if you can't play, like I remember my son used to get pissed. He was good, and they would be like, "Well, we got to put this cat in." Why? Like he wasn't the best, but he was one of the top players. And then some of the players had to get playing time.
that's right. That's
They
right.
would get in, and I'm like, "Yo,
Yeah.
f that." No, no. Like I remember
Mhm.
James Harrison, the football player from the Steelers. He was like, his son got a participation award. He's like, "Man, we don't want that," and I don't blame him. I don't want that either. Like do for something you actually earned, then give me an award. Like I don't want an award for anything I didn't earn.
That's right.
What am
That's
I
right.
telling? Yeah, I got
Yeah.
this for just nah, B. I don't. That ain't a story that I want to tell my kids or my
Yeah. Yeah.
grandchildren.
I
It's
want
not.
to earn it. If I earned it, then
No.
give it to me. I want to earn that award.
Yeah, man. If I don't deserve it, don't put any fake titles or some
That's
stuff
right.
I never earned. I don't
That's
want
right.
that. I don't.
That's right.
And just because I participated, keep that shit. I don't want that, man.
That's right. You're
I'm
right,
cool.
man. Absolutely
Yeah.
right. You want to work for. You want to feel as though that this is what you worked for. You know what I mean?
Because that's how I came up. Now is I don't know, man, how this happened. It just seemed like it happened so fast, and it just happened with no resistance.
Yeah.
It's like when
Yeah.
gas go up, it's 308, and then it go up to 360 2 days later.
Out of
Nobody say
nowhere.
nothing. It's like
Yeah. It's just
it
out of
just
nowhere.
and nobody say nothing. That's just how everything is just happening, man. So
Yeah. It's
I don't know what we gonna do, fam. What we gonna
happen.
do?
It's happening so fast. You just got to keep living, keep praying. That's it. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, keep living, keep praying,
Yeah.
fam. That's it.
Yeah.
Word the bull.
And getting into your earliest beginnings with Men at Large. How were
Uh-huh.
you discovered? How were you discovered by Gerald Levert?
So, my mom, she worked for the government for 19 years. At that time she made good wages, but it wasn't enough to do what she needed to do. So
Yeah.
she worked part-time at this record store called Fillmore East in Cleveland. And, back in those days, all the major artists, they had to come to the mom and pop stores or they wasn't buying
Okay.
your stuff because that's what we depended on for success.
Okay.
So, I mean, in this record store, everybody from Luther to Whitney Houston to Mariah Carey to Gerald Levert, who lived a few miles down the street in Shaker Heights from this record store. So him
Yeah.
and Bev were really cool, the lady that owned the store, and he would come in there and just hang out. So my mom would work there on the weekends and stuff, and he would come in there and hang out with mom. He got cool with my mom, but one night he had I was working at the radio station, and one night one of the jocks from the station, say I already knew Gerald, he knew my mom, and he knew my uncle / dad, who was the programmer, but
Yeah.
he heard me and Jason sing one night at this guy named Jeffrey Charles. He was a DJ at the station in Cleveland. He was a singer too, and he sang that night. And he had an after party at his crib, and we went to his crib, and Gerald came. And so we used to always walk around with this, or drive around with this white Casio keyboard with those Dookie beats on it, them boo boo beats on it.
Okay. Yeah.
And with
Yeah.
with tape on the thing, because Jason wouldn't take care of that. He was the only child, so he was spoiled. And he came, everybody was like, sing, sing. So after we sang, he was like, this was 1986. He was
Wow,
like,
wow, wow.
yo,
Yeah.
he was like,
Class.
he said, yo, I'm gonna hook y'all up. We didn't see him again for 3 years.
Oh,
So yeah,
after he
because that
said
was
that,
when we didn't see
so
him
so,
again. We didn't even think about it.
so y'all didn't
Yeah,
believe it
we didn't.
anyway, right? Did y'all believe it when he said that?
I mean, I think, I was on the radio every day. Jason was still in high school. It was we 3 years apart. So we weren't really paying attention. Like, but
Okay.
throughout the time, like we didn't see him again for 3 years. So the day I saw him coming out of a studio, because believe it or not,
Yeah.
myself and one of my other homeboys, we used to be a big boy dance group for this crew called Johnny O and the Sorcerer Crew out of Cleveland, the independent hip hop dudes. And we was coming out of rehearsal. It was in the same building with Gerald Records.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I got this idea for three big dudes that can sing, dance, cute, the whole nine. He was like, come up to the studio with the next couple of days. I called Jason. I called a couple other guys,
It was
and we
on.
went up there and we auditioned. Yeah, man, we auditioned. Like Steve Russell from Troop was there. All the Rude Boys was there. The whole Gerald Levert camp. Mark, everybody was there. We
Mhm.
auditioned. There was two other guys that auditioned, but they wasn't no good. And then we had another guy. Look, we had another
Yeah.
guy that would have been in the group, but it would have been like him living on the outside of an inside joke the whole time we was together, man.
Okay.
So it just didn't work out because him and were so tight, man. I don't think that anyone could have coexisted with the type of bond that we had and all the private stuff we had and the personal stuff. It would have just been uncomfortable.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. So
Yeah,
so
and the
so
rest is history.
the rest was history. So that's how that legendary moment came about. That you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
That was dope, man.
Word
And
up.
So Alone was a
Mm-hmm.
major crossover hit for you guys, man. Tell
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
how was that song conceived?
My mother dying.
Okay.
Yeah. So the song "So Alone," I miss your mama. I wasn't singing about a lady. I was singing about my
About your
mother.
mom,
Can't
yes,
nobody
okay.
take your place. And so my mom had passed away suddenly. She was driving home from work one day and just passed out at the wheel, and
Wow.
she died. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Wow.
her heart was tripped out, and so he wrote that song for me to sing to her. Crazy thing after that, 9 months after that, Jason's dad passed. Like that whole studio session that would be a crazy part of the movie because it was everybody was in there crying. Like my mom had died, Jason's dad had just died, our
Wow.
road manager's dad had just died, Gerald's
Wow.
grandfather died.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
one of the Rude Boys who just passed away a few years ago, he had a couple drug issues. He was missing. So it was a lot of stuff going on. And so it was a really powerful, powerful studio session. And I was caught up in the performance because I thought it was too primitive for what I could do, in my vein, my ego, I got a big ego. And I
Yeah.
was like, this shit is horrible, B. It's horrible. And they was like, nah, man, we can feel your pain. It's good.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was because that's what it's supposed to do. And it did what it's supposed to do. And 32 years later, I done sung that song at probably over 1,000 funerals, man.
Wow. I wanted to go. I
And
wanted to ask you that. I know that was hard to do. So Gerald Levert wrote the song for you, right?
yep.
Was it? I mean, when he first gave you this song, and I'm quite sure, like, did you want to do it? Or I know it was rough, hard to do that right after
Well, we didn't have a choice. They spoon fed us everything. We had stuff that he didn't record. Like if you listen to I'm Good, So Alone, and Baby I'm Ready,
that.
they
Yeah.
all the same. They all the same songs. Just listen to the music. So
Mhm.
it's like they spoon fed us everything, but it wasn't like, man, we were just so excited to be in there, man. And Gerald and Mark and Sean was so damn dope, so damn cool, man. I mean, we wasn't tripping. We was just excited to be in there
To
having a
be in
good
there.
time, man. And
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
man. I wish you could press a button and say, well, you once a year you can go back somewhere for a week and you could stay there with everybody who was alive and you was kicking it with,
Mhm.
and go. I would go back to those times right there, just right there.
Wow. Yeah. I know that was really really hard. Around them times, man.
Yeah, man, it
Wow.
was crazy, B. Yeah, yeah, man. But
Wow.
we made it through. When you chosen, you don't have a choice.
Yeah. You're right. You're
When
right.
you're chosen, you don't have a choice, man. So, you keep marching. You have the faith, you believe. And the one thing that I've learned in my older age is that the unfortunate thing is in every situation, every corner of life, someone's going to be collateral damage. Somebody has to
Yeah,
be the sacrificial lamb for us to get to the next phase, next season. And it's
yeah,
just unfair, unfortunate, man. But that's man, man, it's just the way that life goes. But when you realize that that's the way it goes, and nobody taught us that, nobody preached that to us, nobody, they just said believe in God and just follow His word. But when you look at it, man, it's like when you get these big wins, you lose something. Or you get these big wins, or you've lost something, man. It's
yeah.
and life is wins and losses, and every situation you or somebody is going to be the sacrificial lamb or collateral damage.
Mhm.
In the It's just whenever it's your turn. And I'm not saying it'll be terminal, but it's something that's going to happen. It's not going to be pleasant to you, but
That's
that's
right.
life. But
That's right.
but the important thing to do is, and man, get up in that batters box every day and keep swinging, man. You might not hit that home run every day, but keep swinging. Because if you don't keep swinging, you're gonna eventually ball up and die. And life is like the pitcher. He throwing
Yeah,
everything at you every day. You don't know what life is coming off that pitcher's mind: a spitter, a slitter,
yeah,
a
yeah,
splitter, a change
yeah,
up, a slider, high heat, low heat, knuckleball, screw. Keep swinging, man. Keep swinging. Keep swinging.
yeah. What was that one of your biggest obstacles you had to get through? And did you have a whole lot of support system with you throughout that time?
Man, that I thought that was going to be the biggest obstacle that I had to get through in my life, man. But like I said, as I've gone forward, I've been attached with the task to be chosen. And you have when you're put in that position to be strong for everyone, you figure it out. It
Mhm.
has been hard. You figure out how you have to mourn. You have to take time for yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
And you have to find what works for you. You
That's
can't just
right.
be like, oh, let me take a break, and you have to take your time with it sometimes.
Mhm.
And those that understand will be there, or they won't.
That's right.
In times like that, the people that you expect to be there most of the times are not going to be there, and the people that you least expect to be there. Support group. I am the support group for everybody. So,
That's right.
uh, I have given so much, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow. I had to just realize that if you're going to give, don't just give because you expecting something in return. You give because you genuinely want to give. Or like I said, when you chosen, you don't have a choice, fam. I'm
That's right.
serious.
That's right.
And
That's right.
I'm glad I figured that out. I don't know how many years ago it was, but because it would have killed me. You know what I'm saying? If I wouldn't have figured it out, man.
Yeah,
It'll kill
yeah.
you, bro. Real talk, man. Word up.
That's right. I hear you, brother. And what is one thing that your fans will be surprised to know about you?
Um, One thing that they would be surprised to know about me. That's a good question, bro. That's a
Mhm.
damn good question. Nobody's
Yeah.
ever asked me that. Okay, here's one that I'm shy. I'm shy to,
Oh, okay.
like, if somebody asks me, like, oh, for a while, like, I would have girls maybe like sing to me, sing to me. It's like reverse introvertness.
Oh,
Like,
wow, wow.
I couldn't really, I would do it, but I would just be like real timid. But then when I'm in front of 10, 20,000 people, I'm going
Yeah.
berserker.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Wow, wow. In front of a
Cause,
crowd,
cause
you're good. But
man, because
wow.
people ask my wife, does he sing for you all the time? She'd be like, nah, but he sing, but he don't sing for me.
For you.
You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I've always been like shy like that. I don't know why. It's gotten better over the years, but man,
Mhm.
before I was married, you're like, yo, will you sing to me, baby? And I'd be over here shaking all nervous. I'm like, man,
Wow,
yeah,
wow, wow.
that's a good one. Yeah,
Mhm. Wow, wow. But that's something that's something I didn't know, and your fans now they know, you know. Can
yeah, word up.
let's reminisce. So let's talk about Love Like This. One of your songs, man, that you put out.
Okay, see, I love when interviewers go deep and they dig. So I
Yeah.
I was I didn't really have any idea that Jason and I were going to get back together. So I was
Okay.
like, let me touch on some of this Southern soul. The only thing that I really haven't touched on, well, I haven't touched on a few things, but
Yeah.
like I was like, let me touch the Southern soul stuff. Cats over there eating, and I like it. I like the genre.
Hmm.
And so I wrote that thinking it was, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I thought it was the perfect antidote for Southern Soul. And, you
Okay.
know, it's R&B with a little, you know, quartet type, because that's what Southern Soul was in the beginning.
Yeah.
And they told me, they said, man, you sound like an R&B dude trying to do Southern Soul. And I said, I am an R&B dude trying to do
Do
Southern
seven
Soul. They
soul.
was like, I
Yeah.
remember Willie Clayton. Willie Clayton told me, he said, man, you sing too good to be over here like that. These cats don't sing like that. And they don't. A lot of them don't. Like Sir Charles does, and what's my guy? He was in R&B first, and he went over there. Man, what's his name? He
He's
cold
R&B.
though. I forgot. He was R&B first,
Mhm.
and now he's Southern Soul. What's his name? Dang, I can't.
Southern
Anyway, I can't.
soul.
I can't think.
Not
Yeah,
not
he
not
over
not,
there.
Not Anthony Hamilton, not Jaheim, none of them guys, right?
Nah, heck
Okay,
no.
okay,
Man, what's his name?
okay. You
It's
said a
gonna
lot.
come to me before we leave out of here. But yeah,
Mhm.
but it's a lot of them. They don't really sing, and it's like, you know, it's kind of like a chant, so to speak, or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you know, it's the same concept with Blue telling stories, and they get the younger cats are getting a little graphic with it and stuff like that. But that's to be expected because that's the culture right now. You know what I
that's right.
mean? Being who you
Hmm.
want, saying what you want, doing what you want. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
Hmm.
that's what's up.
Well, if you
But
can
yeah.
change, since we're talking about the culture, if you can change anything about the music industry, what would it be?
Nobody could get in unless they can actually rap poetically or they can actually sing. Nobody would be able to touch a microphone. You'd only just be playing at your house.
Yeah.
I would take away all of those doggone streaming platforms that allow just any I would that would just
Yeah,
allow anybody to upload something
and put
and
it.
call themselves, yeah, man, you know, I got a new album, I got a mixtape,
Yeah,
yeah, I got
yeah,
this
yeah.
drop, man. Yeah, okay, you got it out, but let's hear what it sounds like,
That's
doggy.
right. That's
And
right.
it's yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it kind of like you throw the thumbs down on it, man. A lot of music today, it's just not even the same, man. It's just not. You know. Yeah,
Nah,
that's
B. Mm-mm.
wow. That's something else, man. You know, you have toured with Shy, the group Shy, 1993, with Levert, of course, uh, SWV, Silk, H Town. How was that going on tour with all these groups? I mean, these groups were very talented, even yourselves, men at large. How was it with all of them,
They couldn't beat us. No,
man?
I'm joking.
I know it was competition. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, it had to
it
be
was like
competition.
that. It was definitely competition,
Yeah,
and you know, we get the best of a lot of them a lot of nights. You know what I'm saying? But it was great, wholesome competition, and everybody just went and chilled afterward and kicked it. You know what I mean? Like I'm very good friends with Lil G and RL from Next and Tony Terry,
yeah,
you know, Tad from Cut Close. It's quite a few people, you know. And you know, and my Garfield and Darnell from Shy, my
Shy,
guys, man.
yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
big up my man Darnell. He had a little thing with his heart and stuff. So, but he's doing
Okay,
better right now.
that's good.
Yeah, man. Joe Little from Rude Boys, that's big bro. It was nothing like it, and I love, like I just did a play with Lil G from Silk a few weeks ago called Child Support. Shout out my man Pastor Kerry James, and it's gonna be coming to a city near you in the fall, hopefully fall winter.
Wow,
And
can't.
you know, yeah, that's my guy, man. And you know, it was nothing like it, man. And you know, we had gotten to a beef with a rap group out there, and they were, you know, going wanted to jump us and